multiply and simplify. 5 times the cube root of 2x squared times 3 times the cube root of 4x to the fourth. So the two things that pop out of my brain right here is that we can change the order a little bit because multiplication is both commutative. Well, the commutative property allows us to switch the order for multiplication, and so we can get the constant term. So we can multiply the 5 times the 3. And then the other two things that we're multiplying, they're both the cube root, which is the same thing as taking something to the 1/3 power. So the cube root of x, this is exactly the same thing as raising x to the 1/3. So let's do that. Let's switch the order and let's rewrite these cube roots as raising it to the 1/3 power. So I have the 5 and the 3. So that's going to be 5 times 3. And then we have the cube root of, do that in a new color. Then we have the cube root of 2x squared. So this I can rewrite as 2x squared to the 1/3 power. And then I have the cube root of 4x to the fourth. So that's the same thing as 4x to the fourth to the 1/3 power. And now we know from our exponent properties, if we have two things that are both raised to the same power and then we take the product, we could just take the product first and then raise it to the power. So if I have a to the x power times b to the x power, this is the same thing as a times b to the x power. So we can simplify this part of the expression right over here as 2x squared times 4x to the fourth to the 1/3 power. And of course 5 times 3 is 15. And if we simplify what's in the expression right over here, once again, it's commutative, so we can swap the order, and it's associative, and so we can swap the groupings, or the grouping, how we group them doesn't matter, because it's all multiplication here. This is 2 times 4, which is 6, times x squared times x to the fourth. X squared times x to the fourth is x to the 6th power. And it's all of that to the 1/3 power, and then that is times that, oh sorry, not 6. 2 times 4 is 8. What am I doing? 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. X squared times x to the fourth is x to the 6th. I think my brain was adding the exponents and wrote the 6 down. Of course, 2 times 4 is 8.